Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked. Today I'm doing a discussion over the Aquatica expansion Coral Reefs. And this is an expansion. It was made for Aquatica, and that is something you can purchase to add to the base game. It's fine. Like, I don't know if it's more of an issue with the expansion that I have or with the actual base game. Because Aquatica, I remember doing my initial discussion over it, and I thought it was okay as a game. But I remember as I kept talking about it, I was like, yeah, actually, you know what? I'm really starting to see kind of like the grooves of it. So I was more hyped on it as the discussion was happening. But it had been a while since I had played Aquatica, and then the expansion came out, so we tested it out, and I'm like, yeah, like, it adds some stuff. So basically what it mainly adds is, it adds new cards, it adds new stuff to the Cold Reefs expansion, but really it adds these coral pieces. And a new keyword called seeding, which is there are cards that allow you to seed. And what seeding does is you get to place one of these coral pieces onto a location. And then when you score that location, you move the coral off, and now it's worth a point. You can seed as many times on a location, or each location can have an unlimited number of corals. So whenever you pull them off, it is just an extra way of getting victory points. Now, how they incorporate these besides the cards are these reef tokens that get assigned to these locations. And I think they're boring. Like, a lot of them are, if you place a location of this type adjacent to it, seed it. And it's like, okay, I placed a volcano location adjacent to that, so I get to take a coral, and place it on that location. And some of them, you get a combo where it's like, hey, if you see the location here, get another coral. Okay, I did that. And then you score it, and then now you get points. That's pretty much it. It adds in a few more modes of new goal tiles, but it's like more stuff that's already kind of in the base game. So if you really like the base game of Aquatica, then this expansion is definitely going to be for you. It's going to give you more stuff, a new mode to play as with the reefs. It gives you a new board, surprisingly. It's a double-sided board where it's like, okay, if you're using rules of the base game, use the night side. If you're using rules with the expansion, then flip it to the day side. And I don't know, I think I'm just a little bit more hyper aware of kind of the production of the game as well. I don't know because I remember Aquatica was very difficult to get when it initially came out. I eventually got one and the expansion and then this, and it almost feels like the production quality has improved over the version that I have. So all my cards are like different shapes or different shades. In fact, one of the player pieces has my pieces are, it's like red and then orange, which I believe orange is meant to be yellow. So my piece that I have that came with the expansion is yellow. So it completely is different from what I actually have. So I'm like, okay, well, do I now have to go out and get a new base game and new Cold Waters expansion, or do I just kind of suck it up? Because the shapes of some of the cards are different. One thing I also found out and I remembered about this game was the sliding mechanism is very cool. Like, you get a lot of really cool feel good combos, and the game is very quick. This Coral Reefs expansion, it doesn't add to the length of the game. So the game is still very fast. In fact, there's a new way for the game to end if the pile of these reef tokens runs out. But I remember when you slide these in, these cards are prone to edge damage. So, and there's no way to sleeve them because I have to slide into these boards. That a lot of my cards are kind of chipped, and that's very annoying. So it's just kind of weird production wise how it's like, okay, well, I guess the copy I have is not the one that's compatible really. I mean, it is, like, it works, and it's not like having a yellow piece to orange pieces is going to be any different. But the expansion just kind of was like, oh, this is produced a little bit better. The other thing they added was something called defending, which is another use for your manta rays. So instead of using them, you can place them on a location, and it completely blocks anyone from getting that. Except that whenever it's scouted and pulled off, like discarded, instead of going to the discard pile, it comes to you. So you're guaranteed to get it if it's scouting enough. And that's going to be a lot better in a larger player count game. And I feel like it was more of a way to incentivize people to scout more. Because it's like, well, do I really need the manta that lets me raise up a location once? No, I'll use it to defend this because I don't have a way of generating power that I need to. And that's a high power card, so I'm going to use this card that lets me defend. And I'm going to put it on that. And now, eventually, that will come to me. Yay. Like, yippee, you're guaranteed a card, but only if it's scouted off, you're actually losing a manta. I didn't find that, like, to be particularly exciting. Nothing about the expansion is inherently bad, I think. I just don't find it really worth, like, the effort to put, like, these coral pieces are cool, and it's kind of weird because they have these pink pieces, but then they have colored pieces later, so it's like, okay, if you're in a multiplayer game that's not two-player, one or two players, then you throw in more coral reefs, and the color doesn't matter, it's just throw in another color. If you're playing 4 players, you throw in the green and red corals, and it just adds to the pile. So it's like, okay, why do you do different colors of coral instead of just being like, hey, here's how many coral pieces you need for a 2-player game. Here's how many you need for a 3-player game and 4-player game. It's just kind of like, why are these different colors now? It doesn't matter. Really, the overall issue I kind of have is that it's like, it's whatever. Like, the abilities of the coral, of the reef locations are fine. And the other thing is, it's like, you're not limited to having one reef per location. If you get another one and you want to put it on a new location, you just cover it. So it's like, oh, okay, well, now that's the new ability that I have there. And I guess some people might like that. They might be like, well, now I'm not stuck in a, engine that isn't working anymore. I could be like, well, this isn't doing it for me anymore, so I'm just going to cover it up. That's really cool for if you like that, but I would have much preferred a way of you building your engine and kind of trying to make that work. Like, the last game I played was about, oh, hey, if you place a type of location here, then you get to seed it, and if you seed a location here, you get another coral. And it's like, oh, well, that could be really neat, because the scout spot that in the base game made it 1 power cheaper, now you get a coral if you take one of those, so you're kind of incentivized to go after them, so that it's neat if I conquer the location from the scouted area, which gave me a coral, and then I place it in that spot that is adjacent. So it's like, okay, it happened to be a volcano one, so I'm going to place that adjacent to it, which means it's going to get seeded, so I place one there. And because I have an ability on top of that location that says when you seed a location here, gain a coral, so I had a way of generating 3 coral in 1 turn. And it's like, oh, all right, I see that. All right, that's what I did. Like, that's like, it just doesn't feel like super awesome to run out and add this stuff. Now, again, it's a very thin expansion. It doesn't bloat the game. It just enhances, like, more cards. You don't get any more locations. You get tribe cards and you get character cards, and then you get the reef location, or the reef tokens. So that's pretty much it, and it's something for Aquatica. So I don't know if my issue is necessarily with the expansion. I think it just added more kind of blah to a game that I might have found myself to be like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I don't think Aquatica is bad by any means. I don't even know what I have it ranked as. Let me see where it is at. Aquatica. I have it as a 7, which is like good. So, like, and I think that's where I'd keep it. I think Aquatica is a good game. The Coral Reefs. I mean, the art is amazing. I thought the art for this game has always been fantastic. I mean, the Meg card freaks me out. Like, I see those things on like TikTok and stuff of like animations of like you in the water and then you look under and it's like a massive shark. Freaks me out. But I think I'm going to give the Coral Reefs expansion a 6. I think it's slightly above average. Like, there's nothing like insulting about it. It does give you a little bit more to do. Nothing super thought-provoking. You can get some decent combinations to go with the base game. So, slightly above average expansion. I wouldn't say run out and get this. Like, I got this at Gen Con because like, oh, a new expansion to Aquatica. And then I played it and I was like, oh, yeah, okay. That's that. Again, it's fine if you happen to have, I don't remember, $40 might have been what it costs. If you happen to have $40 burning a hole in your pocket and you really like Aquatica, then sure, it's not going to ruin the game for you. But it's not going to, if you don't like Aquatica, I don't think it's going to make you like it either. So it's there. It's an expansion. So that's my thoughts on Aquatica Coral Reefs. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.